remember, it's okay not to be okay. It's okay not to be okay.
Hi, this is Andy Cairns from Therapy, and you're watching and listening to Southeast Rank Metal, the only place to get some therapy.
We're here in Helsinki, Virgin Islands, with legendary Andy Cairns from Therapy. Welcome to the show.
Thanks very much, thank you.
Your latest album, Flee, you released it back in 2018, and it was a pretty quick process to record it in 1 month. How was it?
We worked with a guy called Chris Sheldon, who's worked with us in the 90s and early 90s. With all the songs written, he came to the rehearsal room to see us, and he basically said, I like material, let's just set up and record it. So we recorded the bass and drums, I think, in 5 days, the guitars in about 3 days, and then the rest was vocals. Lots of energy, kept a really good live vibe to it.
Did you all take a part for the songwriting process, or was it like you or Gigan or?
So this time it was shared, because what we would do in the past is that when we want to write an album, sometimes more people have ideas than others. And with this time, Michael had a lot of ideas, which he sent me an MP3 form, and he just said, look, because we're a record company that we were thinking of signing to, hadn't said the timeline. So we said, let's just record the record and we'll release it when we're ready. And we booked some rehearsal time. Michael just sent me an MP3 with about 7 or 8 ideas on it, and I had, I think, 3 ideas of my own. So it was, Neil also contributed to this one as well, so it was very, very much a democracy, this one.
So you teamed up again with producer Chris Sheldon. Was he the one who contacted you, or did you want him to come back and produce another album for you?
Well, we contacted him. Initially we were going to produce the album ourselves, but we wanted someone to mix it because we had no experience in mixing. We were worried that he might not do a good job, so we contacted Chris. Now we've known Chris for years and we keep in touch with him, but the last that we had heard, he didn't like producing anymore. He just mixed from his own home studio. So he said, "Come, will you mix some tracks for us?" And we sent him the demos for these tracks, and he called back and said, "You know what? I'd like to actually produce this record." So he came out of retirement to produce and mix the album. But it was good because we've known him since 1993, so it was like working with an old friend.
Is he kind of producer who, gets the best out of you when you're doing and stuff like that?
Well, Chris is old school, he's very honest. I mean, and that saves everyone. I mean, Chris won't entertain an ego. If you're playing some kind of guitar solo and he's behind the glass going, he won't let you do this for 2 hours and then say we won't use that. He will say straight away, Andy, this isn't working, and you move on. And that, you know what, that is refreshing. Because with a band like us, it's all about getting the best out of the 3 of us. No time is wasted. No one has bizarre ideas that aren't going to work. If you do have an idea and he likes it, yes, he will work with it. But he's no bullshit. That's what we like about him.
Did he bring any ideas for the songs when you were recording these songs?
A few. I mean, Chris. Whenever he worked on the Troublegum album in 1994, he's very into melody. His background is melodic rock, and things like on the new album, there's a song called "Save Me From the Ordinary," and on the chorus, there's a very, very melodic guitar line. And for a few days, we had the song without the guitar line. And Chris, I think it needs something, and he went over to the piano and played new, 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 new. Andy, can you play this? I played it, and it became a hook. And whenever we did the song Nowhere, years ago on Troublegum, I remember there's a little guitar at the start of Nowhere, goes, it's a little hook. And we had the song finished apart from that hook, and he said, I think we need a memorable guitar hook for this. So I was in the key of A, so I sat down with the key, a chord of A, and played all these different things. I go, try something different, try something different, try something different, and eventually I played, and that's it. So he's very, very good at, if you need something just a bit extra, and they're only little things, but they make all the difference.
You have been actually playing these songs from the Creep album, like a year ago, at festivals or shows over here and there.
Yeah.
But with the different names. What's the story behind that one?
Well, whenever we rehearse, we write the music first normally, and then we'll write a vocal melody, and then if we start playing the songs, I will not have the full lyrics, so I will just sing something that is convenient. And sometimes we'll just say, well, let's play this song in front of people, see how the crowd react. So there's a song on the album called Expelled, and I think originally it was called Spat Out. We played it in Istanbul, and the crowd liked it, but then we thought, well, Spat Out doesn't sound right. So we liked Samuel Beckett, the writer, and he had the song's about rejection, and he had a short story about rejection called The Expelled. So we thought that's a better therapy kind of title. But yeah, no, we do that, and then sometimes we'll play songs live that maybe don't even make it to a record, or we'll completely change them.
Well, what's the response from the audience and your fans about these songs when they heard that, okay, this song was played live but with a different name, now it's on the album?
Well, I think they like that because then they collect it, and you get some very obsessive therapy fans that have got everything we've ever done, and they will rip those songs from YouTube, and I think it's brilliant. I would there's certain musicians and artists I like that I own everything they've ever done, and I can completely understand why people do that.
And so you're doing also a favor to the fans of yours, so they can get more, rarities and special stuff from you.
Yes, but it also means as well they get a chance to hear. If you come, like for example, that show in Istanbul in Turkey was an exclusive therapy show. It wasn't a festival, so people that paid money to come and see us in Istanbul were going to get something which no one else had heard.
What kind of process it is to pick up a set list, because you have a big catalogue of music?
Yeah, it's a nightmare. We have 15 albums, we have over 200 songs, and we can only ever play the most because of curfews and venues, 1 hour, 52 hours, and we're always going to leave something out that people like, and every night we hear people saying, I travelled to this show and I really wanted to hear such and such a song, and we didn't play it, and I'm so sorry, we can only play so many songs. I think the most we can fit into 2 hours is 28 songs, and that's only like the tip of the iceberg of our catalogue.
What's the song that you have to play every night? Is there any?
It used to be a song called Scream Nature, because it was a hit single all around the world, and it's the one song that most people know if they do therapy. But we did an experiment once in Germany. We played in Hamburg, and we said, let's not play Scream Nature. And we came off stage, and people cried for an encore, and we went on. We played a few more songs, but we didn't play Scream Nature. And when we went off stage, everyone was happy. A song called Nowhere was another hit across Europe. But those are the two I think that people know the most. It's a bit like Slayer not playing Rain and Blood.
Do you ever suffer from, lack of creativity?
Yes, quite often, all the time. and it depends how you deal with it. I mean, over the years, whenever the band started, 1991, 1992, up until 95, it was writing, and it wasn't a problem. And then it was after that I moved. The next album didn't come out in 1998, and then there was 2 or 3 years. And some points I would worry, and then other points I think, well, the more I force it, the worse it makes it. So it's just, I now consider it just part of the process. I know that we'll finish this album, Cleve, we'll tour this probably until September this year, then that will be 1 year of touring Cleve. And then we'll either sit down and go, okay, we need to think about a new album. I will have a few months of, oh, I've got a great idea. Then a few months of listening back, and it's not good. Then Michael will send me stuff, Neil will send me stuff over ours. But it's a process, and I think once you enjoy the process itself, it makes life a lot easier.
Got a tingle inside. Got a tingle inside. Tingle inside. I've been cheated. Got a tingle inside. Got a tingle inside. Got a tingle inside. All right. Hey. Let me hear. Hey. Hey.
You've been part of one of the greatest tribute album, Nativity in Black.
Oh yeah.
How did you end up doing Iron Man with Ozzy?
It was a bizarre thing. We were in Denmark playing at the Pump House in Copenhagen in about 1993, and our manager got a call from Sharon Osbourne saying we're putting together a Nativity in Black compilation, and we would like Ozzy to sing on one song, and we'd like it to be Therapy that backed him up. And whenever we looked at, they told us all the other bands involved, and we said, we're not the most metal of all these bands. And Sharon went, no, you guys, we really like you. We'd like you to be the guys involved. So the next day, we had a day off in Copenhagen. The very next day after the phone call, we were flown to London with Chris Tangarides, and we recorded a version of Iron Man, myself, Michael, and Fife, the drummer at the time. And we hadn't met Ozzy, and we were going, is this going to happen? And we thought, well, what would happen then would be Ozzy would sing it, and we would never meet him. But then we got a phone call from Sharon again saying, we're going to fly you guys to LA for 3 days with Terry Date, who's produced Soundgarden. He's going to record Ozzy doing the vocals, and you can put a bit more guitar on it. So we were in a small studio in Los Angeles with Ozzy Osbourne, and he arrived, and we shook hands, and he went in and he sang Iron Man on the second take. And I said to him, oh my God, that's amazing, you did the vocal in 2 takes. And he went, hey, I've been singing this song for 20 years, I should be able to do it in 1 take. And he was great, and then he signed autographs for us, we got a photograph taken with him and he went. So it was an honour. I mean, I don't think we did a good job with the music. I think Ozzy's vocal was great. I think we did it so quickly, we didn't really think about how we were going to make it sound like Therapy. And the best version is obviously still the Black Sabbath version, but as regards getting the chance to meet Ozzy Osbourne, who was an absolute gentleman, and then after we did that, the good thing was he brought us on tour. So we did I think a month of touring in America, opening for Ozzy Osbourne in their arenas, and that was really good fun.
You're also playing with musicians like Bruce Dickinson doing Deep Purple, Black Knight. What about these bands like Black Sabbath and Deep Purple? Are those bands that you've been listening to when you were young?
Well, whenever I was young, I was into punk, but I came from a small town outside Belfast. And as I was growing up, I was into punk. My school friends were into metal, but because we were seen as freaks, we were the outsiders. So all the punks and all the metal kids hung out together, and I would like Motorhead, AC/DC. And the metalhead friends of mine, they would like Ramones, Sex Pistols, GBH and Discharge. So they might like stuff that was a bit too metal for me, and I might like stuff that was way too punk for them. But that was how we grew up, and that's what we kind of grew up on. And we used to have this thing, we would go around to somebody's house, and there would be a room with 5 chairs and a stereo. Whose house is it today? Oh, it's John's house. John likes the Michael Schenker group and the Scorpions and Iron Maiden, so he would say, okay, I'm going to play Love Drive for the Scorpions, so we would listen to it. And then it would be my turn to say, what are you going to play on then? And so I'm going to play UK subs. And some of the metalheads would go, okay, I'll listen to some and go, oh no, how long does the album last? Or else I would play like the Damned and the Buzzcocks and the Clash. But you know, that was how we spent our Friday and Saturdays.
When you start to play the guitar, and did you learn those riffs from UK subs or grandmas or stuff like that?
Well, to be honest, the first guitar I bought was a bass guitar because my heroes were John Jack Burnell from the Stranglers, Peter Hook from Joy Division. I really, really liked him, and I got a bass guitar from a friend of my father's at work because he knew I liked music. He brought it home one day and said, here's a bass guitar. And he gave it to me, and I learned Warhead by the UK Subs. I learned Transmission by Joy Division. And then a friend who lived down the street, their uncle died, and then he had an old guitar and garage, so I was given a 6-string guitar. So I had friends that were heavy metal friends, and they showed me how to play some AC/DC and Iron Maiden riffs. So I learned a few things, and that was, when I was starting off, it was things like UK Subs Warhead on the bass, things like Armed and Ready by the Michael Schenker group, the first Iron Maiden album. So I was playing along with those in my room. Ramones was the first 3 Ramones albums, some of the Buzzcocks stuff. And that was where, just me and all my friends, there was a really good guitar player among our friends. He was 1 year older than me, and he was a metalhead, and he could play all the Randy Rhoads stuff on guitar when he was 16. He was incredible. And he's now a manager of a grocery store, believe it or not. He was a way better guitar player than I was. But he would sit and show me how to play little techniques, and that was amazing.
If you had a chance to play with one band or one artist to do one song or an album, who would it be?
Do you know what? I think it would probably be Buzzcocks, because they were the band that made me a songwriter. I used to love 2 bands whenever I was 12, Ramones and Buzzcocks. And a friend of mine that could play guitar said, well, do you know bar chords? And I didn't know, and I can play little E, G, and D. He said, well, let me show you a bar chord. He said, then move that up there, and then move it up like this. And you can play remote songs. And I went, oh my god, I can play remote songs. And then the Buzzcocks songs were slightly more difficult, but they were all based around chords. It wasn't really quick soloing. And I think because Pete Shelley, the singer of Buzzcocks, died early this year, I'd like to play with the Buzzcocks. I've met him a couple of times. He was a lovely guy, but I think that band, because of the strength of the songs, it had the energy of punk, but it got great lyrics and great melody. I think that's one that fits me.
We have to get some therapy for us, or is it?
Yes, always some therapy. Thanks for having me on, guys. Take care. Thank you, man.
Thank you.